I initiated these architectural guidelines a long time ago, and worked with the architects that brought them here. I don't think that it's as black and white as Councillor Donovan would suggest. And let me read one of the paragraphs from it, which I think is probably typical of the whole document. There's interpretation to be made. So applying the guidelines, 2.3, the town encourages proposals which are innovative, yet are in keeping with the spirit and visual character of downtown Wolfville. The intent is not to simply repeat the architecture of the past or discourage the use of new styles. However, the town does not look with favor on standardized designs which can be seen anywhere and bear no connection to the architecture of Wolfville. Now, I defy anybody to suggest that that doesn't suggest that we could have a modern building in Wolfville. And you can go through the guidelines and pick out any number of phrases like that which can be interpreted. That's the beauty, perhaps, in that they're written quite broadly, and it allows our community to interpret them. I would suggest, I do agree with Councillor Donovan at one point, if we don't like this building, then I think we should change these, because to my mind, the architectural guidelines would provide for such a building. And if we don't want that kind of building, if we want all traditional looking buildings in a town that the architectural guidelines quite definitively suggest is an eclectic mix of buildings without a particularly representative area, particularly in the downtown, somewhat different from the residential guidelines, then yes, we should change them if this building doesn't fit, because I don't think they're strong enough to prevent such a building test at the Utility Review Board.
Thank you. I think Councillor Sparkman's next.
Thank you. Can somebody bring up the SketchUp drawing of that building and the entire street, please? I think that would be more helpful to look at than just the 3 points up there. I've been going over the MPS carefully and the architectural guidelines, and I was going through and picking out phrases here and there that support this argument or that argument. And I'm not going to read the whole thing to you, but I did go over the MPS, and I think it's the section on, it's called titled Purpose. I think that's important. I'm going to find the actual name of it. There are 22 objectives, possibly. MPS, here we are. Yes, section 5, objectives. There are 22 objectives of this MPS. One of them is subject to discussion of whether or not this building meets it or not, and that's number 12, architectural heritage, maintain that and minimize the impact of new development. And I'm going to later argue that this building doesn't overshadow, and I think it fits in with the rhythm of the streetscape. But I'm going to start with 2, 3, 4, and 5, which are all about minimizing our ecological footprint, our materials, and our dependence on fossil fuels. This, as a dense downtown development, directly answers all of those. Number 19 says flexible policies.